Hi everyone, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new around here. My name is May, and in today's video I actually wanted to jump on a tag bandwagon, and I believe it's something along the lines of if you were to just basically lose your entire handbag collection and you had to repurchase just 10 bags, which would those 10 bags be? And I have to say that I kind of had a hard time picking 10. I feel like I have a very classic curated collection which I've been able to build along the years. But just choosing 10 bags, I don't know if it was more that I was having a hard time making it to the 10 or if I wanted to keep my entire collection, and obviously that goes over the 10. So with that being said, we were able to narrow it down to 10 pieces, and that is what we are going to talk about today. Now, I know that some people went about it more of like the functionality route, their go-to pieces. I have a few that I will be cheating and I will be adding just for sentimental value. These bags hold so much kind of like joy in my collection just because of the way that I obtained them, that I honestly would kind of sort of want to recreate that again and have that moment all over again. I know some people are the exact opposite, that they're like, okay, I've already had it, I've enjoyed it, I've moved on from it. I do have bags like that in my collection. I feel like we outgrow our collection every now and then, and you just get rid of bags to add new styles that suit you better. But there are specific pieces that I just feel like they just hold a memory that every time that I look at them, even if I don't grab them as much as I used to, it still brings me a lot of joy. Therefore, I would still like to have them in my collection. So with all that being said, let's start with the first one within that memory sort of realm, and that is going to be, she is up here hiding. I actually just used her last week, so she's coming back into the kind of like rotation of handbags. This is my Speedy 35 in the damier band print, and like I said, this was my first luxury handbag that even if she was gone for whatever reason, and even though I don't reach her as much as I once did, I still would like to have her in my collection just for that joy that she brings me every time that I look at her. For that reason, I would definitely go out and repurchase this piece. Exact same print, exact same size. I will also get it hot stamped as this one is. I did get it hot stamped with my newly married initials since it was for our 1-year wedding anniversary. I am honestly so surprised at how well this handbag has also held up. Yes, the hardware is a little bit tarnished. I mean, she is 13 years old. I posted on Instagram the other day that we have ourselves a teenager. So she is the oldest handbag in my handbag collection. But with that being said, she looks incredible. So this is the first one. The second option that I would go for is absolutely going to be my Speedy 25 in the bandolier. This is a bag that I mostly gravitate to when we are traveling. Yes, I do use it from time to time, like just when I'm here at home, because I do love the option of carrying it top handle. I also really like the fact that the crossbody strap that it comes with has the 3 options. I have seen lately some of the Speedy 25 bandoliers, like in the limited editions that are being released, don't come with the 3 like option strap, and I feel like that defeats the purpose. Like, I love the fact that this bag is so versatile and can be styled so many different ways. Therefore, I think that damier band is definitely the way to go. I also feel like the damier band is so practical for so many different occasions. So you can wear it during the day, you can wear it for brunch, you can wear it for a date night. I had this bag, obviously not the ideal bag to take into a wedding, but we were traveling and we got invited to a wedding. I had to carry a few more things with me, so I couldn't take the clutch that I originally planned for, and honestly I felt like the bag worked perfectly fine. Again, not ideal, but it paired really nicely with the look, and I honestly was not mad about it. So I really do feel like this bag is very versatile. I think it's a bag that you will be able to have in your collection honestly for the rest of your life, and it will never go out of style. For me, the Speedy is just such a classic silhouette. I mean, we have so many handbag brands that have released a style similar to this, and for all the right reasons. Now let's deviate into a more contemporary brand, and that is going to be Longchamp. Now I have a collection of Longchamp pieces. I love anything Longchamp Le Pliage related. That's their specific line with the nylon material. Even though I was talking to one of you recently, and I definitely need to try and dabble into their leather pieces, because I'm sure that they're just going to be as great, if not obviously better, because it is leather. But without that being said, the first piece that I would run out and get, and hopefully I would be able to find, is my Longchamp. This is in the medium size and it is in the cognac combination. Now, we no longer have this combination available. This was a seasonal combination that came out, but this piece is absolutely incredible. The only reason why I would go on a hunt to find it is because the navy, which is another go-to for me, and the black are permanent in their loup pliage kind of collection. So I just would want this one because I feel like even though the other ones are great, I just gravitate to this one so much more. I love this color. I feel like it pairs so nicely with every outfit that I plan when I do go traveling. I try to stick to basics for the most part, just so that I can interchange pieces and make the most out of my wardrobe while I'm traveling. But this piece is a favorite. I love the medium size for travel, especially to throw over my shoulder. Yes, we all know that the Longchamp straps kind of tend to fall off from time to time. I've just kind of gotten into the hang of like folding one over the other, and they, for the most part, stay put. They'll still slide off every once in a while. It's okay. I've gotten over that. So this combination for me is a go-to. I love it again, and I would definitely rush out and try to find one in this exact combination and size. Okay, so sticking to kind of like the curated collection that I'm very proud I built and would definitely want to rebuild, let's go ahead and go towards a night bag. And I have small bags, which honestly, I think a good majority of my bags I can go ahead and take into nighttime, but this is more for like a formal occasion. And that is going to be my mulberry. This is the Darlie. I think it's like the mini Darlie or Darling, something like that. I just love the kind of like chic look of this bag. It does come with a chain strap, which you can obviously style both crossbody or over the shoulder. You can also do like a short shoulder kind of moment. The chain is very sturdy. It's really nice also. And I love that you have the option to be able to wear it with the chain. However, for me, I was searching for a bag that I can honestly just do a kind of like clutch moment with. I just think that for a formal event, a handheld kind of piece finishes off the look a lot better. Just my personal opinion. So for that reason, I would go with this option. I really like the kind of plate that it has here in the front. Some might think it's a little bit too extra. I personally love it. And this piece actually holds a good amount. It fits my iPhone, which was primarily the thing that I wanted. I know that a lot of us, especially going out at night, we tend to carry the iPhone in our hands and then, you know, have like our clutch in order to hold. But I was trying to be very thoughtful about this purchase, and honestly I wanted to have the option to be able to put my phone away and then just have the clutch underneath my arm and then be able to either have a drink or be able to eat something if there was like food going around or anything like that. So I really wanted to have one that would fit my phone and a little bit more. Okay, let's go into some fun pieces. And you guys know that just recently I've started dabbling into fun pieces, just because I feel like I'm happy with where my collection is at, and therefore I'm able to explore different colors and styles into my handbag collection. And honestly, this is a piece that I knew I would like. I didn't know I would love it as much as I do, to the point where I'm considering adding it in another combination. And you guys know how I feel about doubling up on the same style. But that is going to be my Hermes mini garden party, neo garden. I don't know. It has 110 different names out in the internet, but this little particular piece right here, I love it in the color that I got it. I feel like it adds such a fun pop into my collection. That is the only thing that I would change if I was going back and just kind of like rebuilding my collection to 10 pieces. I would obviously probably go for a different color. Maybe not honestly, because I do think that this blue is so neutral, and I have a lot of like, you know, within 10 bags, you have a lot of room to add enough neutrals where you can have a fun pop of color here or there. So that would be to be determined. This style of handbag for me is a go-to. I love a top handle, like two handle option where I can just have the bag open like this, kind of rummage around, you know, easy access, don't have to be fussy about it kind of situation. And this bag gives me exactly that. It is such a good size. Even though she looks tiny, she fits such a good amount of things, carries all of my essentials plus some more. I don't have to think about downsizing, especially going through my whole Invisalign process. I can throw in all of my things and my husband's. We're both going through Invisalign together in here and not have to worry about anything, and I still have some room to play with. So this is another one that unfortunately it's not as easy as walking into the boutique and asking for it, but I will work my way in order to build a little pre-spend history in order to get this one offered. All right, we are halfway through. So piece number 6 will actually be another sort of trendy piece, and that is going to be my Freya Mercer bag. Guys, I feel like this is the perfect east-west bag that I had been searching for. I personally love the style of it. I think it's the perfect size. However, you still get the east-west silhouette pronounced in the piece, and that's exactly what I wanted. I knew that I wanted a top handle option because for me, a shoulder bag that kind of bulges out like this is not a go-to. If I'm doing a shoulder bag, it's going to be a tote that lays a little bit lower and that my arm can lay there very comfortably, and I don't get that from the east-west styles. So I knew that I wanted the kind of like handles to be a little bit shorter but still a little bit longer, so that, you know, I can style it like this and you can still see the east-west vibe of it. Hopefully that makes sense. I know I kind of went all over the place there, but yes, I love the color as well. Very in for the season, and I feel like brown is a very classic color to have in your handbag collection. I think with brown you can go ahead and style it in every season and just kind of switch up the shades that you choose to wear for your outfit. So here we have another piece that I will go ahead and add into my 10 handbags sort of collection. And keep in mind, you guys, this is in no particular order. I'm just kind of like thinking through and then just picking them out as I feel like they would be the ones that I would want to add into my collection. So let's go ahead and dive into another piece. And this is one that again holds that kind of like special memories in my handbag collection. And I honestly need to wear this piece more often. I don't know why I don't, because one, let's get into it. So we have some eye candy. That is going to be my YSL Lulu bag. This is in the medium size, and this one, just like the Longchamp in the medium size, is another one that unfortunately is no longer available. Why YSL did that, I don't understand, because I feel like the new Lulu style that they released could have been a great style on its own, and you still could have kept this style. I feel like they are completely different from one another, that there was no need to get rid of such a great bag. So with that little rant out of the way, I would definitely love to add this piece again into my collection. One that holds a ton of memories. We were actually, it was during COVID, so the world was a hot mess at the moment, but I was driving my husband crazy with this particular piece, and we rented a house. It was me and him for a couple of days, and then afterwards my brother, his girlfriend, my in-laws, and my parents ended up showing to spend, you know, a few more days with us while we were there. And when they got there, they actually showed up with a cake in the style of the handbag, which I really thought was so fun and so cute. And then my husband gave me my gift, and my gift was a bag. So kudos to the hubby. He definitely knows how to surprise me, and he definitely thinks out all my birthday gifts so well. Definitely got very lucky with him on that. But I love this bag, and honestly, I mean, just thinking about the story, it brings me so much joy, so much happiness. So I would love to be able to have this piece in my collection, not only for that, but obviously because it is a really good piece. You see, this is what I mean about a shoulder bag. Like, I want it to lay low enough where I can have my arm lay like this, and it's not kind of like uncomfortable here at the top. So that's what I opt for when I go for a shoulder bag, and this one fits such a good amount of things. So option number 7, let's dive into the last 3. And I know you guys are waiting for this one, so I'm not gonna leave it as a last sort of option, and it is Nugget. This is my Birkin 25 gold on gold, my holy grail handbag that I never thought I would own in my handbag collection. My baby. She is my everything. She is my favorite. We've already made that clear before. So I would go and do everything all over again in order to get this piece the way that I did. The way that I just went in that day to pick up some nail polishes, and my essay was like, well, and my knees got weak. Literally sounds so dramatic, but it's so true. I know that if you get it, you get it, but I couldn't believe that she had in her mind, I don't think she had it in her mind to surprise me that day, because I wasn't planning on going in that day. I technically surprised her, and she said that she was going to call me on Monday in order to come in, you know, during that week, but things worked out the way that they did, and she is a special piece in my collection. I hope that I'm never in a fire, because honestly, there's nothing like going through the initial kind of, you know, experience and emotion of obtaining these pieces. And I don't know, I could sit here and talk so much about this piece, but yes, I would go all over again through the Hermes journey. I have various videos where I talk about it, but I would not go about it the pre-loved route. I know that people are like, oh, you're gonna spend pre-loved the same thing that you probably spend in the boutique. Okay, but I am getting pieces that I actually want and wear from the boutique, not just a used bag, even if it is brand new. I'm not going the pre-loved route. So with that out of the way, I would go about it just exactly as I did. I would hope to find my amazing essay again, and then just start kind of like the journey with her and go about everything the way that I did, and be able to add Nugget into my collection once again. Okay, now I have to be honest with you guys. I'm kind of having a hard time as to what the last two pieces will be, because even though I have the variety that I have and these pieces I love and I grab them, it's not something that I'm like, oh my God, you know, I would love to have them in my collection. I could live without them, honestly. Hopefully my husband is not watching this video, but I do like having them in my collection for obvious reasons, just because I'm able to rotate them and kind of, you know, pick them as they fit my outfit. With that being said, I definitely want to have a piece from Polene in my collection, just because I love the brand so much. I am having a hard time as to which one to pick, because I want to go for one for practicality, and then I want to go for the other one for like kind of the memory and the emotion that it has. But I think I'm going to go for the practicality on this one, and I'm sure it comes at no surprise. And that is the Polene theme in the mini size. Now, I would go for the mini again. I love this size for me and for what I carry, whether it is when I'm traveling or whether it is that I'm here, you know, in my hometown, basically. I think the mini size is the best. I love that you can cinch out the sides, and then if I'm carrying a little bit less and I just want her to have a little bit of a different look, then I can go ahead and cinch in the sides, and you basically get a 2-in-1 with this bag. The only thing that I would go about differently is the color. So when I added this piece, they did not have this other color available, but I would go the ebony route. I feel like the ebony color in Polene is absolute perfection. It's so beautiful. It goes with so many colors in my wardrobe, and I think it's a great year-round shade. Therefore, that's the color that I would opt to go for if I was going to kind of rebuild my collection with these 10 handbags and I wanted a little bit of versatility. I love that I would be able to have a tote, which I don't think I've picked a tote yet, so that's nice. But then it is also a bag that I really enjoy using top handle, and she is such a good size. All right, and then the last piece that I'm adding back into my collection, I wanted to, again, kind of fall within that practicality sort of aspect and kind of help me curate my collection perfectly. So I live in Miami, therefore I visit the beach often. And then we also love taking a lot of little beach getaways and little beach trips during the year. So I feel like a beach dedicated handbag is a kind of go-to and will definitely need to fit within those 10 bags in my collection. So I am adding a Naghedi piece as my last piece. Particularly, I do love this combination. I feel like it's very fun. Maybe I would go for a neutral color or a solid color better. I also have my Miami pink, which is a super fun bright pink, but I think I would go more of like a neutral shade. They have so many beautiful neutral shades to choose from, and I think choosing a neutral one would be best in order to be able to incorporate it no matter kind of like what bathing suit or what beach outfit I'm wearing. This was just a fun one. It was on like huge sale, so I decided to add it, and I love the shades that it does have, but I do have to keep it very minimal with my beach outfit whenever I choose to style this one. Now, this is the large size, and this is exactly the size that I would go for. I do love the medium, but the medium, I think it's better for like resorts kind of stays where I don't have to carry too much, especially towels. While if I'm actually like going to the beach here in my hometown, I want to be able to have the capacity to carry a little bit more. And the good thing about the large is that you could carry it as is, but you can also cinch in the sides if you're not carrying too much. It gives the bag a completely different look, and again, it makes it smaller so that it doesn't look like it's such a bulky bag, especially if it's empty. And I just love Naghedi pieces. They're so carefree. They're perfect for the beach because you easily wipe them down. You can even machine wash them. Just go ahead and follow the instructions that they have on their website, but you can even do that. So this material is just so wonderful. I think the price point is honestly great. They don't do sales on their website per se, even though she did do one last year. So that might be a new thing that they'll do, you know, every year or so. But a ton of different retailers carry Naghedi, and then they'll put them on sale from time to time. I'm always sharing with you guys when they do go on sale because I know you guys love them as much as I do. And then the other thing that I really love about the Naghedi, and why I would go probably a solid color route, is because you do get these amazing pouches, which I think are great, especially if you are taking the piece into a like beach vacation resort sort of situation, where you have this pouch in a solid color that then you can use for your night looks, you know, to carry just like the minimal little things that you need to carry throughout the resort. So that does it, you guys. That is my top 10 handbag picks that I would choose in order to start rebuilding my collection. Hopefully after that I'm able to add a few more, because as I said, I really do love where my collection is at the moment. I have certain pieces that I know are no longer available that I just love that I have, and that I know that I grabbed just a like handful amount of times, but it makes me happy to know that I have that option and that it is such a like great go-to bag. For example, just derailing a little bit, I love my YSL Manhattan in that, you know, kind of like size, in that combination. I think it's so great. But in this video, I kind of wanted to get into emotion and practicality. So I felt like I had other pieces that I would want to add first that would check off also the occasion in which I would grab that one. But I do love that I have that piece in my actual collection. So hopefully no fires will be happening anytime soon, but this is still a super fun video to film. I would love for you guys to jump on the bandwagon and share your top 10 picks if you had to restart your handbag collection. And if you do, make sure to tag me so that I can watch it. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to catch you all in my next one. Bye everyone.